Scene back on. All right. Do we have sound now? Do we have sound on the stream now?
Oh, wait, hold on. I had Twitch muted. Say more things.
Now I don't have sound in OBS either. I don't have sound on VOD. I don't hear you at all. I see you talking and don't hear you.
Stream can hear us.
Oh. Hello. So, I just found out that we have had no audio for that whole hour and a half of playing, so...
It doesn't say on air.
We are. We're live, and I can hear you.
All right, good. Okay, so we had none of that. So we're going to start that session over again and try to expedite our way through it, just to see if we can, because we spent this much time on it anyway. All right, so let's all introduce ourselves and our characters again, so the audience can actually hear this time. I am M, the GM. Roxy?
I am Roxy. They, them. I am playing Gerald Tarrant from C.S. Friedman's The Coldfire trilogy. Basically, he is a former prophet of a major religion turned vampire and master of the dark arts.
Tensei?
Hi, I'm Tensei. I'm playing Altair from Recreators. She is a person who is aware of fiction and wants to kill stories effectively.
And Maple.
I am Spy. I am playing as a mix of Saturn from Heaven Will Be Mine. Oh, my pronouns are she, they, or they, she, case depending. And Saturn uses she, they. She is a character from the visual novel Heaven Will Be Mine. Except in this timeline, she is aware something is wrong. She is not playing the right role in the story because she is somehow finding herself in the role of the Doomslayer. And as a result, is aware that most of her history is not lined up with her personality or what she remembers, but she doesn't fully know why yet.
All right, so we turn to our heroes, and you find yourself suddenly waking up on a cold stone slab. The room is in a room made of perfectly polished white marble, and you notice that so is the bed you're laying on, and it's also glowing blue slightly. What are y'all doing?
Do we mind if I speedrun this?
Yeah, go for it.
Altair has seen this before. Something went wrong in the last iteration, in the last 90 minutes.
You can say that, yeah.
But we're gonna fix that. We're gonna fix that right now. So, in very quick succession, there is a man with the stretched skin and the suit. It's a silence from Doctor Who. Altair summons a sword, and into its head it goes, felling it on the ground so that nothing can stand in our way. We go out the door. There is Buzz Lightyear in a suit. A second sword just straight through the helmet. He is on the ground as well now. We're done with this. A man in a TV shows up. Another sword. We're not going to deal with you this time. And there is a door to a bar that says entrance to hell or whatever. And we open that door, and now we're in the correct plot line.
What in...
Just so it's on the record, the TV-headed man that Altair killed was Gabriel Bede from Eidolon Pop Rock.
Canon Gabriel B doesn't deserve this, but Saturn seems to remember that despite not remembering anything from the past 90 minutes, Gabriel B probably deserves it from the past 90 minutes.
So you enter the portal labeled Gate of Hell, and in there's a large black man standing at a bar that's been carved
Feels
out
gonna
of
be
a
this
cave
one.
wall. He's wearing a nice suit and looks over at the three of you and chuckles to himself. Is like, "Damn, you sure took your time." But you took it. But you took care of that. You took care of that weird angel. So So you have some thanks.
Yeah, I'm not dealing with him this time. I don't know why Altair's voice went real deep. We're not dealing with him this time.
Yeah. Well, this time, sure. Anyway, you must. If he was all bothering you, one of you must be that Doomslayer guy he was going on about.
At this
Look at
point,
the
Saturn is tired of the allegations
he did not
that
say
he
you.
cannot escape.
He did not say you. In fact, he looked at the three of you and was going to look towards Geralt and say, you look like the doomiest one of these three."
I have no knowledge of anything of what you speak, and I assure you that any prophecy surely cannot apply to me. I set my own fate.
I think it's that one. Saturn's pointing at Altair.
What? No.
You're the Doomslayer, right?
No, you.
Just a foot
Look at you.
soldier. And look at this guy. Can't you feel the power radiating off of him?
Listen, I don't really care, one way or the other. Point is, someone needs to close that gate before the angels turn Mars into a second heaven, and that's just the mess. That's just the mess for everyone. So,
Why can't you do it? Like, you seem to be
because there are
powerful.
rules from between heaven and hell, and I'm following them. They managed to get some idiot to open a gate, and they could go out and go out and mess everything up as they please. Now, me, no one is going to open up a gate. No one is going to open up a gate to hell and let me out. Not a literal one, just the bar. And listen, I
Speaking
can.
of, I could use something stiff.
He absolutely has been like making drinks for you the whole time through this whole conversation. It does like slide one for each of you across the bar. It's exactly what you would want from a very good bartender who could make you effectively anything. What are you drinking?
A rum and coke and neurotoxin. Or electrotoxin, sorry.
Yeah, absolutely. What about Gerald and Altair?
I think Gerald probably wouldn't drink alcohol because he wouldn't allow himself the vulnerability of drunkenness.
So water?
Yeah.
Altair's just got one of those small glasses with 2 pieces of ice and a little bit of rum.
Yep, you all get exactly the drinks you would want, and he's like, "Oh, now now I know that weird spaceman with the wrist thing. He had on him a record. If you give me that record, I can make sure you have a much easier time where you're going. Get into that gate, killing everything in your path, and getting it shut. What do you say?"
Is there anything you can give us now?
Once you give me the record, I needed to make you the stuff I'm going to give you.
I have a
Can I buy
question.
anything now?
Yes.
I have a question that I can only ask because we had tech hiccups and had to restart.
Yeah. You still have the record. You
Do I
have the
two?
record.
Do I have two? Do I have two?
Sure, you have two. You have two angelic records. Why not?
We have killed him twice.
You did kill Buzz Lightyear twice.
Yeah.
The
Altair
Ultra killed
produced.
him.
Huh?
The Ultra killed him.
Yeah. Altair produces the two golden records and just lays them out on the table as if she's like unfurling a deck of cards, but it's only two.
What on earth?
Pretty sure there's only supposed to be one of these on the planet. Oh, it's gotta be so much worse than I thought out there. Right, but he does
did say something about timelines becoming unraveled, so there's two now.
So we can get the biggest weapon you got. A big, big weapon. Molotov cocktails.
He takes one of the one of the records over to a record player, puts it on the record player. It plays a nice little jazz number. He opens up a portal to main hell and goes in there. You hear sounds of violence and fighting for a couple seconds, and he comes back out a little bloody, a little worse for wear, but he is carrying 3 custom demonic weapons for each of you. What did he give you?
I think for Gerald, it's probably like some sort of attachment that would enhance his existing rifle. Because like I feel like he has too much pride to just use like a weapon that isn't something he crafted himself, you know?
Okay, so he gives you like some kind of demonic scope.
Yeah.
All right, awesome. What about Altair?
Okay, I think Altair is given a set of guns, the same kind that he would have crafted for Cereza. They're just the boot guns. But instead,
Oh yeah?
instead what Altair does is she opens up one of the portals that the swords normally come out, and she takes the guns and she tosses them in. And then does the summoning, but instead of military sabers, it's all guns. She can just summon floating guns now.
And
I feel like the best way to be able to have a demonic weapon for a Saturn Doomslayer hybrid would be chain claws.
Ooh.
Basically, the idea is it would be kind of like big claw weapons, except on the ends of each of them, there is a chainsaw going, because Saturn is able to tear things with electrotoxin-laced claws, and the Doomslayer uses a chainsaw. Figured that is the best way to
those
combine
go
the
together
two.
nicely.
Still not as good as the super shotgun, but what is? I'm making a weapon. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's cool. And you guys is like, all right, now go get out there and go kill some angels. Get that gate closed and make it worth the records.
To fuck things up even further, as Saturn's walking out, she's going to do like a thumbs up in the air, like Metroid Prime 2 style.
Yeah.
Good.
Listen, if it's interstitial, I gotta make it as bad as possible. Everything is here. Everything is here and happening all the time, always. just like Masahiro Sakurai always thinks about in his dreams.
All right, and resuming speed running mode. You leave the bar, you leave the building you were in. It was a church. You go into a weird broken greenhouse. There's the Occaphedron angel from Evangelion. You murder it. John Carter of Mars is there. He dies. Maybe you murder him this
Somehow.
time.
Do I
Or maybe he dies fighting the angel.
Just has a heart
my
attack.
Dark Link with John Carter? Or
What's that?
do I bring back my Dark Link with John Carter? Or...
If you want to.
Sure.
Should I still have mine with Gabriel Bede?
I don't. You could keep your links.
I have
Hooray.
this really
I messed up the tech. You could keep. You're not punishing you with taking away your link. We're taking away your links.
I have this really stupid image in my head of the way this speedrun works. Is it's kind of like Terminal Montage's There's Something About series, where it's just the three of us and we've arrived at this blue D8 and we all just kind of get on it as it screams. And then John Carter flies into the middle of it, and then when the dust cloud clears, John Carter is just laying there dead.
Yum shut.
You go from the Evangelion angel to a rickety rope bridge. You cross it, and there is where we stopped, where Gamora is dueling Pit from Gamora from Guardians of the Galaxy is dueling Pit from Cloud Icarus in the middle of the bridge, blocking your path. What are we doing?
One of them has wings. This isn't fair.
Saturn's gonna go back to trying to get their attention to like get them to stop or at least move.
You get them to stop fighting, but there's not really anywhere to move to.
I mean, you have wings; you can fly, right?
It's like, yeah,
There's, like,
I'm not supposed to let anyone cross the bridge. Just kind of does that anime kid thing with his hands behind his head and kicking at the ground.
Why not?
Well, because that's what they told. That's
That's what who told you?
like the other angels, like the boss ones.
And you just listen to them?
Don't you listen to your boss?
No.
Oh.
Why would I do that?
Because they're your boss. You gotta listen to your boss. That's what your job is.
If I listened to my boss, I would have been open firing on civilians. And Saturn is having a headache as she is unintentionally remembering Doomslayer's history instead of her own. So, if you're not going to question your boss, could you at the very least please tell me what Greeny's doing here?
She's like, I'm an assassin. I was like collecting payment when some asshole opened this gate or whatever, and now I can't get off world because everything is being pulled in by the gate. I just want to go home.
What asshole opened the gate? Was it this teenage boy something?
What? No, I couldn't open the gate. I came from the gate.
So who opened the gate?
I cannot do two different higher pitched voices than my regular one alternating. This was a bad idea for these two characters to be the ones you meet. I mean, Gamora's like, It was some tech guy. The like the like it's the corporate offices are. They're the ones who are colonizing Mars. Their corporate offices are like a few miles down. Gestures towards the bridge, like down the path.
Quick question. In character, would Saturn know if the UAC was trying to colonize Mars? And would have a tech guy.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you would know that is how that normally goes, but also at the same time your memories the knowledge of that says it should be demons, not angels.
Because this is what I want the job. Is there any way I convince you two to let me go? Or let us go?
I was like, if you can help me get rid of the rat, we could all just cross the bridge.
Brat, are you amenable to this plan?
No, I don't want you to kill me.
Well, I didn't say we were going to kill you.
Well, I can't let you cross the bridge.
How well do your bosses pay you?
Hey?
They don't even pay you? What happens if you get hurt?
Like I go rest for a little bit until I'm better, and then I go back to work.
How many angels do they lose that way? How many angels aren't able to get back home and take a nice bath after all this?
He looks at you very confused. He doesn't seem to be understanding the question. This is gonna go pretty circular until you. So make a habitat roll. Roll with heart.
Roll with heart. Okay. Four.
Four.
Yeah.
Okay, he goes. Okay. He like jumps up and starts and flies off the bridge. The path is clear now.
So, weird lore question.
Everybody
Does
roll
Pitt actually fly, or does he just fall to his death?
He's
Pitt
doing
canonically can't fly without Palutina's help.
We're gonna say Palatina is currently helping him, and he's only doing his like partial flight, like his up B and smash.
Ah. So he still falls.
He will fall in a sec. He will fall shortly. Yes.
Gotcha. Move. Saturn's just like urging everyone to keep moving.
Everybody roll one.
Looks like you're in on this too.
Everybody roll one die, please. What do we got?
2.
Roxy?
4.
Intensity's
5.
got a 5. Okay. Saturn, you look over to the side of the bridge and you don't see Pitt anymore. And then you go and take another step forward while you're looking at that, wondering what's happening, and the board where you should be stepping is gone, and if you don't do something quick, you're gonna fall.
Saturn's gonna try to leap forward.
Right, push through stress with mastery.
Okay. I'm a master of nothing. So that's a 6. This side hates me.
It
I
does.
I would like to affect the outcome.
Okay, go for it.
And basically what's going to happen is like your foot's gonna step through the hole, and there is now a summoned like gun platform that you step onto so you don't fall all the way through. Assuming the dice work. That's what I'm attempting. Oh, that is a 10 on the dice. So either
Yep.
10 or 13 because I didn't choose light or dark.
Yep. All right.
It's basically I give you lift, so that 6 becomes a 7 to 9.
Cool.
Okay, so
Thank you.
I'm going to say the Doomslayer armor is technically a holy relic, and you did just save yourself off on a bunch of demon guns. That hurts a little bit. Do take 1 harm, but like you're safe now, and that used up the last of Pit's floating ability to rip that board out and to try pulling you down. So he's going down now.
Goodbye.
Saturn winces a bit, realizing again that nobody actually really dies in Heaven Will Be Mine.
Weird. Nice.
You would assume that a trained veteran of the UAC would be more desensitized to this.
Right, we are going because we lost so much time. We are going to skip a couple set pieces, and like just on the other side of the bridge, there is a ramshackle settlement of an enclave. As you approach, a tiny little one-eyed robot on a single wheel rolls out. It's like, oh my gosh, more minions! Hopefully, one of you is gonna be able to close that gate. Absolutely no one here has been any use at all.
Saturn has like another cosmic urge that she's repressing, but she knows it's not her or the Doomslayer. She just knows that it's probably morally correct to shoot Claptrap.
Yes, and your
It's
subconscious
always morally correct.
and your subconscious identification of that character is proven correct when a man in a yellow and black uniform with weird ridges on his head steps out of one of the buildings and is like, "Oh, Claptrap, cease bothering the newcomers. Let them seek shelter." And he gestures you towards towards some of the hastily thrown together buildings. You do not want to be out after sunrise. And he points off in the distance, and yeah, like you do see that the sun is starting to lift above the horizon.
What happens after sunrise?
The angels are less active at dark.
Then we probably better hurry.
Did that thing just call me a minion?
Yes.
Gerald
You
is
should
going
do something about that.
Gerald is going to like probably fruitlessly try and kick Claptrap.
You successfully kick Claptrap. It sends him flying, but does not do any serious harm because nothing can actually kill Claptrap ever.
Yeah.
Oh. Interesting to note.
Lieutenant Worf and Claptrap lead you into the building where there are two other refugees. A blonde woman with shortcut hair and U.S. Air Force Fatigues is sitting typing something on a computer, and this would have played so much better if we had the original fourth person playing too. But a gray skinned man with tiny little nubs of candy corn colored horn on his head, with pants that go all the way up to his abs, just leaving his shoulders uncovered, and a blood red cape. He he just stares mournfully out the window. Like, oh, Claptrap wheels in. It's like,
Thankfully.
all right, minions, meet the rest of meet the other, time for you to meet the other minions. This is Lieutenant Worf. He's a Klingon warrior and a real badass. That's why I kept him as my bodyguard. This is Captain Samantha Carter. She does computer stuff, and she blew up a sun one time. It was an accident, and it's a long story. And that guy over there, that's the Sufferer. I don't know why I don't know what he does. He's just really spooky.
Sup?
Call me minion one more time.
So, we're looking to close the door of heaven.
I mean, the blonde woman identified as Samantha Carter looks up at you. It's like, oh, I mean, that's what everyone wants to. Like, we used to have like a lot more people because we go out there and try and no one's made it back or apparently succeeded. But
Oh. Do you get like black boxes? Did you get like any kind of like warning as to like what took them?
I mean, we have their rough positioning when we lost contact. Like, usually nobody makes it out of the offices. The where the original terraforming efforts were started, the gates are located on the top floor of the office building, and that place is just, well, that's where all the angels come from, so it's got a lot of them.
Well, they say the Doomslayer is supposed to take that down, and Altair here seems pretty up for the role.
Sure. If that is the role I am here to play.
Yes, you are. Just a humble UAC soldier, nothing more.
So be it. Where is the gate that I am to close?
It's not that far. Like, once sunrise comes up, we can give you a vehicle, and it shouldn't take you long to get there. Just continue keep following the road paved in gold. If you do not succeed, then we will honor your memory.
I see no future in which I fail.
What, are you gonna hike up that guy's pants another centimeter? One for each of our lives.
The Sufferer actually does smile slightly at that. He's like, "Oh, that's not that far wrong to what they are, actually." I mean, not here from home, but
Something about your pathetic nature is kind of familiar. I appreciate that. Can I roll to make a link with the sufferer?
you absolutely can make. What do you want to make a link with him for? Which one?
Let's say heart.
All right, roll with heart.
Can I?
Okay, that's a 6, plus I have 1 in heart already.
Yep, so that will be a 7. You either complicate the link and still state effect, or just
I'll complicate it because part of what's going on is that Saturn is vaguely remembering Lunaterra and is aware they're projecting feelings of somebody from a different life onto this person who is entirely unrelated. But at the same time, as far as they can tell, the sufferer has the same kind of vibes.
okay.
Even though Lunaterra is not a Jesus clone, but is in fact the far more interesting Char clone.
Close enough.
I mean, they're both red, but
Yeah. Right. Does anyone else want to make any links with Claptrap, Samantha Carter from Stargate, Worf from Star Trek: The Next Generation, or the Sufferer from Homestuck?
I
I
mean,
want to make.
okay.
Sorry, go ahead.
I mean, like, if Gerald is going to be making a link with any of these people, it's going to be a dark link, right? Like, 3 of these 4 people aren't human, and Gerald doesn't respect what he sees as, like,
Okay.
unholy creatures. And also, they're, like, ordering him around and calling him a minion. So, like, if anything, it's going to be a dark link with Claptrap.
All right. Roll with dark. I have confidence you can make this roll.
7.
Huh. All right. So you could complicate you could state a fact about Claptrap that and place the link in a different category, or you could just take the link, or you could just take the dark link.
No, I think the dark link makes most sense.
All right, just take your Claptrap dark link. And Altair, do you want to link with anyone?
I also want to take a dark link with Claptrap.
Yeah, I kind of figured this would happen.
10.
you've given us an ally who is worse than like the worst guy.
Right.
All right,
Sorry. Yeah, 10.
Yeah, so make the link and say something about Claptrap.
Just say anything about him. Claptrap's an asshole. We all know this.
Yeah. Yeah, there's not much depth to that.
I also kind of want to. I also kind of want to change my link with Saturn to Heart because that was very good and very funny.
Aw.
Yeah, you could change. I'll just let you change your link, and because that's a link you already have, I think you lock it.
Saturn's gonna keep it as dark, if only because Saturn is still afraid of Altair.
Okay, that's fine. Okay. That's it. Nothing with anybody else.
Yeah, okay. Then, yeah. Morning comes, and they pull out from a garage. It looks like a terrible cross between a dune buggy and the Discovery rover. And yeah, they said like just follow the path and you'll get to the offices.
Shotgun.
Try not to die.
Wait. as Saturn says shotgun, Saturn asks if they have any kind of armory that they can peruse.
Give me a flat 2d6.
8.
Okay. The Sufferer does not have any. The Sufferer will not have any weapons. Presently, what they have to offer you is a Klingon batleth or a P90.
I'll take the P90 because I don't know what the Klingon weapon is. I don't know Star Wars that well.
It's a very weird sword that does not look very practical to use.
It's really not. You sort of hold it in two hands like this, and there's middle like metal bits in the middle here, and then the blade is a big curved thing.
Yeah, I'm definitely taking the P90. It's
Yeah.
a terrible weapon, but at least it could be used as like a bludgeon.
Yeah, it's a very long weapon, but you can kind of only use it at very short range. Like,
Gotcha. I love the
It looks cool,
self-destructing
though.
cruelty squad weapon.
The croissant was big and deadly. All right. Who's going to drive the dune buggy?
Not it.
I believe Saturn called shotgun, so I think that leaves the person least likely to know how to drive.
Saturn offers to just drive since, it doesn't feel like a body, but at least it's a machine.
Okay, you make your way a couple miles down the road, and off in the distance you see the office towers. And they were not kidding. That place is just from where you are, you can just see the entire, like, still about a mile away, you can see the entire building is just a swarm of like golden feathered thin golden feathered humanoids with carrying large golden spears just floating about the building, trying to get in there through just running up to the door is probably not a good idea, but you've done crazier stuff lately. Oh, also, everyone can clear a harm for sleeping the night if you feel so inclined.
I
Thank
think
you.
maybe Gerald is going to try and at least pick off a few of them from a distance. A few of the like patrolling angels.
No, because you definitely can take out a couple of them. So I'm going to say that's less of a strike with intent and more of a cast magic to see if you actually make a significant dent.
Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a 5.
That's a 5?
Yeah.
Well, market XP again, I guess. And so you know how I said that massive swarm would be suicide to approach directly? It's now approaching you. You have about 5 minutes before that entire swarm of angels that were outside flying around outside of the building get to you.
Shit.
What are you doing?
I guess Gerald will attempt to sort of produce an aura of like intimidation with his dark fae powers to try and maybe at least dissuade some of the angels from like just like swarming us and attacking us.
All right, give me another cast magic.
A 6.
Does somebody want to try and affect the outcome, or do you want to spend a link?
Sure. I could spend one of my light links since they haven't come up at all.
No. That for spending a link, that would have to be Gerald would have to spend a mastery link. Do you even have one? Yeah,
I
you
have none.
mastery links. But no, Gerald would have to spend their own link for this. Otherwise, somebody else would. How does the?
I'll roll.
Yeah, if you want to help, you roll with light or dark. Tell me which one you're rolling with.
Dark, only because it works better.
Okay.
That is a 9.
Okay, so you could either let Gerald take another shot at that roll, or you slow them down and stop them from making a terrible mistake with their magic.
I'm gonna slow them down to stop them from making a terrible mistake with their magic.
All right, yeah, you see Gerald pulling on the forces, and then you're like, oh, you look up at those angels, and you know, like, no, those angels, these ones are barely animals. They are too stupid to be intimidated by that kind of mental manipulation. That wouldn't work.
Yep.
And you point that out.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna respond like that. You're basically looking at a swarm of insects.
Blast.
Hell, they're divine. I don't even know if they're gonna like. You would have better luck with a bug than this. You remember that kid that just let himself die?
Speaking of which, the angels are now circling above you, and they are tossing those golden spears down upon you. It's not quite the 300. We will blotting out the sun with arrows, but it's pretty close. Everyone should roll a push through stress. I'm gonna say with mastery.
Oh, I got lucky. 10.
10.
Oh no. 5.
All right. Saturn and Gerald, you just kind of book it away from the spears. Altair, you go to do so, and you are pierced you are stabbed so many times. Take one harm.
That's a lot of harm.
That's a harm.
That's a quarter of my harm.
That is a quarter of your harm. And you are also the spears are also pinning you to the ground. You are still in a vulnerable position, but they have to come down and retrieve their weapons. So what are you going to do from there?
Do I still have my hands free is the question.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you have your hands free.
Okay. All right. Okay. I'm going to use Dance with Who Brought Me. When you use a weapon when you use your weapon like only you can, roll with mastery. The 20th movement of the cosmos, Factor Mimic. Altair is going to repeat exactly what was done to them back to the swarm. And thousands of spears, however many were launched at them, appear on the other side and shoot themselves up into the air.
All right, can I get the roll?
Yes. Roll with mastery for this particular move.
Yep.
That is a 9, so 10. On a 10, I get to choose 2. The first thing is I will cause irreparable damage to something, the swarm.
Makes sense. That's kind of what a lot of spirits would do.
Yes. And then I am going to impress, surprise, or frighten. And I think frighten works best here.
Yeah.
I want to frighten the swarm.
All right, yeah, those spears retract out of you and the ground and go flying right back up to where they came from. And now the angels have moved a little bit, so it doesn't stab all of them, but it stabs enough of them that it sends the rest scattering and panicking and running away. And yeah,
There. Easy.
Easy game, easy life.
Yeah.
the path to the office building is clear now. As you get closer, you notice that from the office building, the ground itself is immediately surrounding the office building is completely paved gold. It's not the weird half melted golden path that you've been following thus far. It is turning whatever is happening in there is turning the planet itself into the lakes of heaven.
Was there like a visible source of this?
I mean, it's the building. Is like the epicenter, and when you take another look at the building, there's a faint glow at the windows on the top floor. It's like, and like you've been told that's where you're going to find the gates.
Okay. Y'all want to make a run for those top windows?
Of course.
All right. Swords, can you get us a staircase up there?
Sort of. They've all been replaced with Bayonetta's boot guns now, but yeah, you can still make a staircase of guns.
Yeah.
So sort of. Gotcha.
Sort of.
I don't think you need to roll to make a staircase. You can just do that. That's pretty straightforward.
Saturn does not question the staircase made out of boots.
Well, it's not made out of boots. It's made out of guns that attach to boots.
Yeah.
Still hot.
Damn right it is.
You get to the top floor. I'm assuming you smash through the window, because why wouldn't you after all that?
Absolutely.
You smash your way through the window, and yeah, there you see it. These two pearlescent gate doors that are sitting open, and beyond them is this. It hurts to look directly at it, but you do have the sense that whatever is behind there is beautiful. Standing in front, two large menacing figures step in front of that glow. A man in it sounds vaguely robotic as he moves this perfectly white armor with this pointed fit with this angular mask, and his breathing though is harsh and regulated as he's like the armor itself is straining to keep him alive. From his side, he pulls out a small silver cylinder and flicks a button on it, and a green blade of energy protrudes from it. Meet Lightside Darth Vader from that one Star Wars Visions comic. And besides him, a man is another large towering man. His entire body seems to be covered in a vaguely armor-shaped crystal, and he has a crystal sword that is almost as big as he is in his hands. It's it's Siegfried from Soul Calibur. I don't really feel like being coy at this point. We're at the end of the story. They are these two are the last guardians heaven has chosen to stop you from closing the gate. And they are charging right towards the one they recognize as Doomslayer. Which is Altair, because that's what you've been telling everyone.
Saturn quickly tries to rev up the chain claws.
All right, give me a strike with intent. Roll plus dark.
Cool. That is a 13.
All right, choose two. Defend yourself from harm, great harm, control the situation, harm the entire group, i.e. both of them, move before they can react, or make a point with no room for argument.
Okay, so I do want to do great harm, but taking control of the situation.
You get to
Because this is still Saturn, she still does have like electrotoxin on hand that can slowly corrupt and warp not just their minds but their intentions.
I see. Well, what are you trying to manipulate their intentions to?
Just being a bit more selfish, not just serving heaven like that weird little rat kid did before dying.
Okay, since you didn't pick the entire group, you can only do this to one of them, Darth Vader or Siegfried.
Siegfried. In character, I wouldn't know, but out of character, that's the character I know better.
Yeah. Okay. You inject your electrotoxins from your claws into Siegfried, and he falters. His armor seems to be pushing him to keep going, but he's hesitating. He's left there open and vulnerable. Darth Vader, though, still comes at you and slashes at you with his lightsaber. Do mark one harm. Gerald, what are you doing?
I think Gerald is probably picking up that bullets aren't going to do much to Darth Vader's armor. So I think he's going to try and get like a kind of a sneak up and use his sword, like while Darth Vader is distracted with Saturn, and kind of try to like hit him from behind.
All right, you give me a strike with intent too.
Yeah. That is a 13.
All right, pick two.
I think I will take control of the situation and make a point no one can argue with.
Okay, what are you doing with the situation while you're keeping it?
Kitty.
Like, I basically I'm trying to get Darth Vader at least prone so he can't attack anymore. And the point I'm trying to make is like, you should all be afraid of me. Like,
all right, yeah, you managed to get in and you stab him in the back with enough force to knock him prone, which that's a significant effort. That's a significant effort for someone the size of Darth Vader, but as you are stabbing him, he does flick his lightsaber around and he's going to stab at you. I'm going to give you a choice. You could either be disarmed and not have your not have your sword for the rest of the fight, or you could take a harm.
I will take a harm.
All right. And Altair. Both of these buddy, your allies have rendered both of these guardians like pretty vulnerable. How do you plan to capitalize on this?
You know what? Let's just go really basic. I'm looking at all these movements of the cosmos and going, not really. Let's just use the guns as guns. And so around Altair is like a in gyroscopic orbit is just a whole bunch of these Bayonetta style guns just pop into existence. And as they spin around, when they get to the front, they sort of twist a little bit and fire at the two nearly immobilized soon to be corpses.
All right. Give me the strike with intent.
Everything adds up to 10 today.
Yeah, it's a lot of
Oh,
a lot
wow,
of tens or fives. Not much
Yeah.
in between. All right, what are your two?
Harm an entire group. Obviously, I feel like I have to.
Yep.
Um,
Makes sense with the whole array of guns.
yeah. And I guess I'll do that and deal great harm.
All right, yeah, you just render basically with your array of guns. You turn this room into a Toho stage and them into heavily armored piles of meat. Because
Oh,
yeah, they were already vulnerable, and you just took prime advantage of that. There was nothing these men were going to do to save themselves. And here you are, the three of you just standing here before the gate of heaven. What are we doing with it? Are we going to close it? You're going to open it more? Going to smash it and see what happens?
Let's close it. I don't want to keep dealing with these guys.
Well, the question is it as simple as just like physically closing it, or do we have to do some shit?
You go and touch the gate. You touch the gate, and you feel it is trying to pull. It feeling's not really the right word, because you don't really feel your soul, but you have the sense that this gate is like trying to like pull that is like pulling essence out of you to try and close it. Give me a push through stress with light.
Okay. That is a 7.
That's a 7. All right, you managed to push one side of the gate closed. Closed most of the way. You can't make it you can't make it all the way. It is burning at your metaphysical being too much. You do still take one harm from that existential damage, but you have made progress on closing it. Saturn and Altair, what are you guys doing?
So I'm just going to try to shoulder check to further try to shut the doors.
All right, give me the same push through stress with light.
Okay. That's a 7.
Mm. I'm going to say it's a little different for you. Tell me, Isabella or Isabel? I'm assuming that's Animal Crossing Isabel, because making
Yep.
the Doom guy meme. Yeah. Or
Yep.
Space Dandy. Which link are you losing?
Let's do Space Dandy just because that link with Isabel's eternal.
You.
I got it. I got you.
Yeah. You feel the. You just feel like the gate is just taking away your good memories and emotions. As it's like trying to siphon out your soul. You do push push that one side the rest of the way closed, but there's still one whole other part of the gate. Altair, are you going to do anything?
Of course, I'm gonna do something. If we're closing this for now, Altair is playing along with the world, and they do that same movement of striking this saber across their violin. 13th movement of the cosmos, outline origin, as just sort of an invisible wave of energy kind of radiates out, and you can't see it, but you can only see its effects. And what it's doing is it's returning this gate to the state it was at the very beginning of its story. Shut. If the dice let me.
Yep, that sounds like a you're not doing it directly physical, so that sounds more like a cast magic for you.
Sure. Don't fall off. More 10s. I'm not gaining any experience.
No, I'm pretty sure Roxy's the only one who's got an experience.
I've gotten 2. I've had 2 failed rolls.
All right, but out of 10. Yeah, you just revert the door back to its closed state, and the gates of heaven are sealed. You have successfully saved Mars from being turned into just an extension of heaven.
Hell yeah. Heaven, no.
What do you do?
Heaven won't be mine.
What do you do from here? What is the next chapter in all of your stories? Let's start with Gerald.
Gerald is going to probably cause some terror on Mars for a while, like feasting on the fear of whoever he can. He feels a little inferior after this whole experience, and he wants to boost his power again.
And Altair, what are you doing now? You seem to have you've made some ominous statements about what you might do with the gate in the future.
Yeah, Altair still wants to ruin every world, including this one. But the gates of heaven are at an inopportune. They have the placement's all wrong for them. So we find her back in a bar, sipping on another decanter of whiskey. And when she downs it, 12th movement of the cosmos, factor mimic. And she opens a gate to heaven inside Rodan's bar.
Oh, that's good.
The camera pans over to the door as it flies open, and whatever happens, I don't know this genre that well. I'm assuming it causes a lot of chaos. And when the camera pans back over to the bar stool, Altair is gone, having moved on to the next fictional world.
And Spy. what do we-
Counterpoint. You fucked with Father Rodon.
Yeah,
He's got
you
bigger
know,
problems than me right now.
I'm not saying that you're his problem.
What does Saturn do now that her destiny as the Doomslayer has been fulfilled?
She still knows something is wrong. She still knows that there's some kind of like deep feeling. There's a person missing in her life. So she goes and tries to just remember this thing that she's lost. Was it from her own life, or was it from the life of this Doomslayer? She goes to a bar in space. I believe it's called Boobies. She sees a man walk by with a pompadour, little machine and cat by his side. She looks, she stares, she weeps, but she doesn't know why. But there's some 6'3" girl and her partner sitting at the bar, and something about them looks very interesting. So she just goes and joins them.
All right, and with that, I think we've good to conclude this game of Interstitial. Thank you all for playing, and to everyone watching, I am terribly sorry about the technical difficulties we had, and hopefully we won't make that mistake in the future. Let's go around and do some plugs. Roxy, where can the people find you online?
I'm not really active on any social media at the moment, but
Yeah.
I eventually will make my co-host at Rocia active, ROCIA.
And Tensei?
Yeah, hi, I'm Tensei. You can find me on Discord and Blue Sky at Tensei Dragon, TENSEIDRAGON. You can find me back here on All at the Table on the second Saturday of every month, playing Ishimao on The Secret of the Small Gods. And if you haven't seen it, go check out Until Stars Collapse over on Neon Lights Roleplay. We just wrapped up that session. We just wrapped up that whole game. It was a fun little mini series about how people connect at the end of all things, and it was very sweet and very melancholy.
And Spy, where can the people find you anywhere?
Here, I don't currently have any other projects to be advertising right now, so honestly, I can save that for later. One of these days, I'm hopefully gonna finally have enough stuff to like publish it, but right now it's just weird little scrimbly stuff, so I'm just weaving in and out of the internet. But you can join me here as
Oh, sorry.
join us for our Pathfinder campaign where I play as beloved little Skringle, Holly the Goblin.
Goodbye. Oh,
Everyone loves a good goblin.
yo.
And
Woke up the puppy.
Tiny dog.
Unfortunately, my son is a lizard, so he doesn't really run up during podcasts, but also that means that he
Doesn't bark
is not
during
being
them
in a
either.
crevice, so that's definitely a benefit.
Dog, you're too late. You're too late. You missed the whole stream. You missed the whole game.
She was sleeping under the table. She was here for it.
We could have
Aw.
written her in. She could have played.
And I am M. You can find me on Twitter and Blue Sky at M of Healy. You can hear my podcast where I rank every fictional character to try and find out who is the best and who is the worst.
Right.
Battle of the Blorbos. Everyone here has guested on it.
Oh yeah.
Friska Circuit never did anything wrong. Oh, she actually did a lot wrong. But she is my Blorbo.
Should I
And
put
you,
Altair on this?
She's like Edelgard, but for women.
Should I put the person who can rewrite canon on this show?
that would be a nightmare to argue. Go for it if you want. And you could also starting in May, you will also be able to find me here on this network, GMing a Mutants in the Now campaign, also with Roxy and Spy. We're going to be doing.
I love mutants.
We will be doing the character creation for that soon, and hopefully I do not have any technical mishaps as big as today when I do that.
And hopefully I won't have any weird scrungly crashing in through the ceiling because of life events. And nursing horrible tooth pain that keeps me awake at night. Haha.
Yeah, that's not fun. All right, so I think that is everything. So, good night.